SMT Nation, we back. Nation, there's an article here from Light Reading, Mike Dano. You know how it goes. I'll go ahead and link it in the description for you guys here. The title, T-Mobile's Neville Ray updates his 5G layer cake analogy one last time. Oh man, this analogy. All right, we're going to talk about this article and the stuff that's in it. Real quick, let you guys know, the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link, I have a link in the description if you want to support your creators directly. That's one way you could do it. Big shout out to everybody who's ever got me a coffee. And then also, if you're looking for a great deal on wireless service, you can get it from Mint Mobile. That's our partner, and the partner link is in the description. Use it, save money, and you'll help out the channel in the process. All right, so main elements from this article. Years when, I don't know, what has it been, 3 years, 4 years? Whenever they launched their N71, all right, their 600 megahertz spectrum on 5G, the whole concept of layer cake from T-Mobile, right? This was really what T-Mobile is driving home as a point to their 5G network. Low band, mid band, and millimeter wave, right? That's their layer cake. And T-Mobile, touted the fact that they were doing it better than their competitors, better than Verizon and AT&T. Really what T-Mobile was able to do post-merger was get a hold of mid-band, dedicated mid-band for their 5G network from the Sprint merger, something that AT&T and Verizon didn't have the liberty of, right? So they had to wait on a spectrum auction to get that, and now we're starting to see them get that spectrum on air and, built out throughout the country. So this continues to be a focus of their 5G marketing. And at MWC last week, the chief technical officer or president of technology, Neville Ray, spoke about this. He also spoke about slicing and dicing, so 5G, network slicing. And he talked about the flexibility of what they have with their network. They do have a lot of spectrum. All right, so they got a lot of, they got band 66, N66. They've got PCS, both from Sprint and T-Mobile ownership in the 1900 megahertz range. All right, so that'll be N25. And then, of course, they have the N71, right? So when you look, and they've got other stuff now too, right? They got the N41. They've got the N77. We're going to see that get built out soon, I think, or I hope. And they have millimeter wave, right? So they own spectrum. This is truth. They have a lot. All right, now, updating this whole, layer cake thing. So here's what it is, right? Low band N71. Right? It's nothing to write home about. It gives you coverage. It gives you, effective indoor usage, because, it's hard to get a signal indoors sometimes, especially in places where you don't have density like rural America, right? And then even in suburban where T-Mobile's got spaced out towers, it's good to have the N71. And then you got your mid-band, your N41 and what's going to be their N77 as well. They've got two different sets of licenses there in the DoD and the C-band, the 3400 and the 3700. So there's that. And then they have millimeter wave licenses, which they really don't do much with. In my opinion, while their layer cake analogy makes sense, they actually don't do this. They have two layers. They don't actually do millimeter wave. The one thing that could change that would be, as what I think they're going to do more of, they're going to use it in the most extreme urban situations with respect to, places where they have a really high market share and their towers are congested, and all those towers have all the frequencies that are non-millimeter wave already there. If you got all your N77, you got all your N41, all your frequencies are live on radio gear, and you're still congested, which can happen, right? They're going to have to use millimeter wave, right? So there will be a day where they have to do this. There's just no way around it. And then also with the 5G home, Neville Ray spoke about this, right? Getting customer premise equipment, outdoor radio gear, receivers, antennas, and all those things to get millimeter wave to the home to use for 5G home internet. You see, they're not really... I don't think they're ever going to properly scale millimeter wave to any great extent, right? It's going to be more of a situational basis. They're going to use it sparingly. They're going to use it situationally in a very traditional manner, right? In that sense. They will never do it like Verizon does it. They won't even do it like AT&T does it. I see more AT&T millimeter wave throughout my market. Most of it's downtown. But I think I've only been able to effectively test 4 out of 7 T-Mobile millimeter wave sites. And it's been years since that stuff has been up. And it's not really going anywhere. So I don't trust in that third layer of the layer cake outside of a very situational deployment. And the fact that they're not fiber owners, maybe that detracts them a little bit. I think also the fact that the gear, is less than optimal. We haven't really seen the evolution of the radio gear yet. We're waiting on some of that stuff. But, if I'm really analyzing the whole layer cake approach, one company has named it, one company markets it, but really, from what I'm seeing, the only true layer cake company is actually Verizon, right? They have multiple layers of midband, LTE and 5G. They have low band and stuff just like T-Mobile does, midband just like T-Mobile does. But they actually legitimately build out millimeter wave, and it has been very helpful in many instances in my usage in the Cleveland area. It's been helpful downtown. It's been helpful in suburban, in near the bakery. I've used it at Walmart's. I mean, it's pretty effective, right? It's an instant cheat code for capacity. So until they really do millimeter wave, they're not really living up to the whole layer cake thing. Neville Ray is going to be gone this year, I think, with retirement. We'll see what the replacement guy does. I don't think much is going to change. You look at the CapEx, it's decreasing. You know what it takes to densify millimeter wave. I do see it becoming situationally important to fixed wireless, though. That's going to be pretty cool to watch. I'm excited about that. So there are some things that I do have hope for, but I'm not going to be holding my breath anticipating a true 5G layer cake. I really don't. But I do think they are going to have a very dynamic network with respect to the mid-band channels they have. No doubt. I just don't see millimeter wave being a difference maker for them. Only because I don't think they're dedicated to that build. But you guys may think differently. Tell me what you think of these comments that I'm making. Tell me what you think of the technology side of things. Tell me what you think of their spectrum holdings. Like I said, I think their layer cake is a bunch of second layer, which is cool, which is good. But they're missing the ultra high capacity cheat code that is millimeter wave. They have not done that, and it doesn't really seem like they're all that close in my opinion. I'd say they're probably 2 years out from even having a decent urban millimeter wave build. I think they're that far out. I really do. The other guys just do it better, so we'll see how it plays out though. In terms of the mid-band situation, the other carriers, Verizon, AT&T, are catching up fast. They're closing that gap. T-Mobile's really not going to have much of a lead after this year when it comes to pops of midband. It's going to be a thing of the past. I mean, speeds are already starting to, we're starting to see those speeds in terms of the gap between T-Mobile and the rest. There's really not much difference. Verizon's very commonly averaging 2, 3, 4, 500 megabits per second when I test them here in Cleveland. T-Mobile's like 4, 5, 600, right? There's not much difference there. AT&T is very consistently, between 200 and 400. Very few times do I ever see it even less than that. Uplink's great from all of them here. They're becoming very, very hard to separate just based on capacity. There's other things that you could separate them by, but definitely not capacity. It's all, I think, by the end of this year for at least the major top 46 markets, there ain't going to be any way to tell them apart. And, of course, there's more spectrum coming to air, right? AT&T and Verizon are getting more spectrum. T-Mobile gets some more, too, so you'll see capacity and greater speeds coming your way. But what do you guys think of all this? Sound off in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people. The SMT Nation, let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links in the description for all things going on with the channel. Big shout out to my YouTube members and Patreon supporters for making content on this channel possible. Appreciate you all. Don't forget you can buy me a coffee. All right, you could do so with the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. It's in the description. And get a great deal from Mint Mobile, our partner. That link in the description. Use it, save money, and help out the channel in the process. Thanks to everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.